Amit Kalyani, Joint Managing Director of Bharat Forge, into the conversation. Amit, good morning, and at the outset, wishing you and everybody in the Bharat Forge family a very happy 2026.
Thank you, Neeraj. Wish you all also a very happy 2026.
Yeah,
Um, First of all, I'd just like to mention one thing that we are now in the silent period. So can't talk too much about any of the other businesses. I
completely
can
agree.
talk about the defense orders and the things that you specifically wanted to focus on. So that's fine.
Sure, but I would want to start off, Amit, by asking Amit Kalyani, one of the captains of India Inc., about what does he feel about 2026, because 2025 was a year of multiple challenges from multiple fronts for an Indian corporate. How does 2026 shape up according to you?
So I think as a businessman and as a corporate, a lot of unexpected things happened in 2025, and I think any responsible or any corporate in India will have found ways to adjust to the current situation and make growth plans for 2026, keeping in mind whatever has transpired in 2025. So I think we are all, cognizant of where we stand globally, geopolitically, and we have chalked out a plan by which we will be able to grow our business substantially going forward.
Okay. Now, Amit, Anushi was obviously talking about the defense piece because it's a recency order win. But as I read some of the notes that have come in the last 1 month on Bharat Forge, they talk about how defense, aerospace, restructured overseas operations would be the focal points for Bharat Forge, because North America Class 8 truck sales don't quite appear to be on a strong footing. Would that be a fair assessment of the larger part of your business?
Those three factors will definitely be a large part of our business, but two additional factors. One is doubling down and focusing on strengthening our automotive business in India, which is both across passenger car and commercial vehicles, and increasing our play in the industrial sector in India. These are our focus areas.
Okay, okay. Let's try and nibble on them one by one. Maybe we'll come to defense in just a moment, but I'm inclined to ask you, Amit, one more question. There is a lot of industry chatter about how the Indian CV cycle is coming back after a very long hiatus, and we might be at the start of a cycle which might last the next couple of years. You are a veteran in this bucket as well. Do you reckon that to be the case? And therefore, could that be net constructive for your business?
Yes. So first of all, I'd just like to, deflate this bogey of the US truck market. It is approximately, just about double-digit percentage of our total revenue. And that is our consolidated revenue, because we also have truck revenue in Europe. So it's not a very large part of our revenue. It's just 11, 12, 13% in that ballpark. Um, Coming to the Indian CV and let's say core industrials market, as India's GDP growth rate you're seeing ticking upwards, and I think now you're starting to see a whole new phase of infrastructure development across India, whether it's in the cities and rebuilding city infrastructure, to expanding our highways and other kinds of key public infrastructure, whether it's building new airports, ports, railway lines, railway terminals, cargo centers, etc. I believe that the build-up of India and Bharat will now propel India's economic growth. And this is something that we saw happen in China in the in the 90s, moving into the 2000s. And I think this is the same kind of period that we will see in India now for the next 15 to 20 years.
Okay, Amit, that's an interesting point that you make. But now let's move and shift focus to the defense pack as a whole. I mean, we've seen recent order wins that have come in. With the defense order book reaching approximately, a little over 10,000 crores by now, if I would say, what are the specific milestones that you've set when it comes to 2026 to accelerate the execution pace after the slower pace that was seen in some of the previous quarters?
Yeah, so absolutely correct point. So basically, the defense business, as you know, is a B2G business, and it has certain, ebbs and flows because it depends on when orders are placed, when um, uh, the product acceptance is done, the testing is finished, and then the induction starts. So the two big orders that we signed in this year are both IDTM products. The ATAGS gun and the CQB carbine were both products which were jointly developed by us along with ARDE and DRDO. The CQB with ARDE and the ATAGS with DRDO. So these are deeply and fundamentally Indian products, Indian designed, developed, and manufactured with complete Indian IP. And I think this is a factor that should give a lot of confidence to the forces, to the overall system that no matter what, this can be executed. And that we can supply these and maintain these for a long time going forward. Also, we can further develop these products into more advanced versions as we go along. Our total order book is roughly around 11,000 crores now in defense. Basically, if you look at our defense journey, it started with focusing on artillery, then it moved to protected vehicles. So we added more products on land systems.
You were talking about the importance of not just looking at 2,000 crores, even if you do achieve 2,000 crores in the current calendar for defense or the
See,
current financial
2,000
calendar.
crores is a milestone on the journey that we want to take. We want to build this defense business into a large, platform business where we'll have multiple domains, significant platforms, and multiple technologies in this business, which will play across various platforms. So I'm confident that 2,000 crores is something we will achieve on a 4-quarter basis for sure. It just depends on which quarter what happens, and therefore which 4 quarters you can count. But going forward, this will all stabilize as the orders go from the trial phase to the steady phase. Because if you look at ATAGS itself, it's a large order. So those are all going to start playing out. And what I was saying is that besides just what we've already shown, we have a lot of new things that we're doing, which will be products which we will support or offer to both India and the global markets.
So, Amit, to add to this, if you have to talk about FY26, you have the DSE, which has approved proposals worth, what, 3.3 lakh crores so far. So, where is Bharat Forge going to actually play an important role, and what is that order pipeline going to look like in terms of opportunity between the domestic as well as the export markets?
So let me, give you a broader answer. I think one of the areas where we will have a large play is on the naval systems, because India is dramatically increasing its shipbuilding capacity and its number of ships that they will have in the naval fleet. So that's an area where we have a significant opportunity, and we're developing a lot of products that go into that. We already have a bunch of products. We're developing a lot more as well in fully value-added condition. So that's one area. On the land systems, we have multiple new platforms and products that will be bidded out in the next, let's say 1 to 3 years. That's another area where we see a tremendous opportunity. And then, there are opportunities in unmanned systems, which I think are one of the largest opportunities, because I think unmanned systems are going to play roles in every domain. Plus, unmanned systems will go from simple FPV kind of products to mail and hail, which are real significant large platforms. And there have to be players in India that can again IDDM these products. And I think that's the kind of focus that we are putting behind it. It's not going to happen overnight, but I think this is a journey that we are focusing on.
Okay. And my last question from my side, Amit, coming to you is, when you talk about the KSSL spin-off, how will the transfer of the defense business to the subsidiary which has been completed, enhance operational agility or probably the capital raising when it comes to 2026 projects as well? Because again, a lot of opportunities that you have been eyeing in India as well. There could be acquisitions that could be on the anvil. So what's the update on that front?
So we're not spinning it off today because we need
Right.
funds, but we're spinning it off because I think it's a very different business. And at some point in time, it will have an opportunity to create value independently. But this business has a different cadence, it has different DNA, it has a different kind of organizational rhythm. And I think we need to give it that kind of scaffolding and support. And that is why we have spun it off into a 100% owned subsidiary, and to create the identity and the culture and the whole organization that is required for building this business into a large standalone business.
Amit, as we wrap up, and we'll of course talk to you post your quarterly numbers as well, but I suspect you believe that 2026 is a year for business for Bharat Forge will be better than what 2025 was. Not that 2025 was bad, I'm just saying 2026 will be better.
Yeah, I think it's going to be qualitatively better because I think we're going to see a lot of opportunity translating into at least new orders and initial orders in many new areas.
Well, that's a statement, and of course, we'll probe this a bit more when Amit Kalyani talks to us on the numbers. But Amit, take a moment to thank you for joining in today. And once again, to you and yours, a very happy 2026.
Thank you, Neeraj, to you and your team as well, and to your families.